Hello, and welcome to Unliving the Lie, a podcast where we delve deep into the insidiousness of narcissistic abuse and domestic violence. I'm your host, Candace Renee Moon, and I am a trauma-informed coach, a writer, and a DV survivor. I work with adult men and women to help them create happy and healthy relationships on their terms, free of narcissistic abuse. So welcome, everybody. Tonight's episode is how to get the truth from a narcissist. Now, I know the truth and a narcissist are not something that any of us would put together. Their most common MO is pathologically lying. The narcissist lives in a carefully constructed fake world, and they will use many manipulation techniques to keep you from seeking the truth. They construct a house of cards around themselves that they use to interact with the world. Their use of gaslighting and deception to protect their lies makes it really difficult to interact with them in a meaningful way. The narcissist's very existence is a lie, and they're terrified of showing their true face. Now, a narcissist will perceive their feelings as facts. If they think something is wrong, they don't understand this is just a thought. They're thinking something's wrong. It's just their thought or their opinion. To them, it's their truth. And because they believe that truth 100%, they don't recognize it to be distorted. Narcissists may seem like they're arrogant and overconfident, but that's really just a facade. A facade that they're using to hide a very fragile false self. Their false self is what they use to try and fulfill the functions of a healthy ego, but it's not a complete identity, and therefore they use it to extract what they need from other people to feel good about themselves. So they prop themselves up with this false image that manipulates other people. And to keep their grandiose false self going, they need you to support their lie by praising them and mirroring back to them what a fantastic, amazing, perfect person that they are. This becomes almost impossible to continue once you figure out what they really are. When the love bombing is over and you figure out what they are, what kind of person they are, and you figure out that they're a liar and they pretend everything, you're confused and depressed because every time you think everything's okay, there's more bullshit and untruths spewing out of your mouth, out of their mouth. And you don't know what to do because you fell in love with this person, but you started to see a side of them that you don't really like and that they're very dishonest. You just want truthful answers to your questions. You just want an honest dialogue without the constant deflection and gaslighting. You want a real discussion instead of their perpetual blame shifting and victimhood. With a narcissist, however, unfortunately, wanting simple things like the truth, that's a tall order. Narcissists live with the constant fear of being exposed. They want to avoid that false self being exposed, so they will go to almost any means to manipulate others into seeing them as superior. And in order to deal with someone like that, you have to be smart in the way you approach the situation, and definitely when you want honesty from them. Because remember, I said this topic was, how do you get the truth from a narcissist? They're a perpetual liar. Their existence is a liar. So how do you get the truth from them? Well, we're going to discuss some ways that you can actually extract the truth from them. So the first thing you want to do is stick with what you know is true. Now, we know narcissists are gaslighters. We know that it doesn't matter what proof or what evidence you put before them. Doesn't matter if you have all the receipts. They're going to double down on their lies. But one effective way to begin is to start by asking the narcissist a question that you already know the answer to. If they lie to you, then you can confront them with what you know to be true. That might help to keep them more truthful as you go forward. Because perhaps once they're confronted with the evidence, they'll just tell you the truth anyway, but they're most assuredly still going to lie to justify the initial lie. This is usually rather obvious, and it's sometimes something you can quickly discard. Once they know you know the truth, some vulnerable, covert narcissists will often break down and tell the truth. But rest assured that you are likely not getting the entire truth. So when you stick with what you know, at least for your peace of mind, you can tell and decipher when they're lying and what the truth really is. And this isn't always going to work with covert narcissists that have traits of a sociopath as well. These individuals will lie until the death. So even if you ask them a question that you already know the answer to, even if you present the receipts, when questioned about something they definitely did, they could rage at you and gaslight you in an attempt to turn the blame on you. So these are the most dangerous narcissists, in my opinion. And if you're in fear of your physical safety, please tread carefully when attempting to get the truth from them. My abuser used physical violence and raging to silence me. I attempted many times to get the truth from him, and he would go into a narcissistic rage. He actually was injured. When I would catch him lying or try to confront him about his dishonesty and his treachery and his stealing of my money to go do drugs, when I would try to confront him, and I was so upset that he just left and made up a story and lied and disappeared for 48 hours, and I tried to confront him about all his lies, he would come home in a demonic rage, injured because I dared to question him and I dared to want the truth. When you catch them outright in a lie, that causes them to feel vulnerable. And this is a very unbearable feeling for them, that they will do anything to avoid responsibility and preserve the false self. Raging, threatening you with violence, or name-calling is a normal reaction to the truth for these disordered folks. They don't like the truth. The truth shatters their false self, and their false self is the most important thing to them. This behavior, while horrific and completely undeserved, is actually a definite answer to your question. So consider it confirmed that you know the truth. So if you ask them a question and you know the answer is going to be a lie, you know it's a lie, and they rage at you, like you ask them, did you steal that $20 out of my purse? You know they did it because it's just you and no one else was there. You know they took your $20. But when you ask them, you're going to get the truth in a different way. Their rage and anger tells you the truth. Anytime you confront a narcissist for their behavior, you tell them, I'm onto your behavior. I know what you're doing. It's not working. You need to knock it off. Don't be getting in my purse and taking my money. You had no right to do that. You could have asked me for the $20. And they rage. You got your answer. They took your $20. Because a narcissist, they don't take accountability. And when the truth is smacked them in the face, their first reaction is to rage and threaten you, to get you to stop bothering them and to keep their false self, in their mind, the false self, protected. Another thing, you need to pay attention to their actions and not their words. If you pay attention to the actions of a narcissist, you can often get at the truth they're trying to tell you. False promises and future faking are common with narcissists. They'll tell you what they want. They'll tell you they want to get a better job so you can start saving money, but they never get off the couch. This behavior tells you that they really don't care about your future plans, and they really do not want to work at all. They'll use their narcissistic rage as a distraction tool to keep you from seeing their true intentions. If you look at their actions, however, you can discern the truth about what they're trying to do. That they were lying to you when they said they want to get a better job so you can start saving money. That was a lie. You don't even have to ask them if it was a lie because you paid attention to their actions. They never got off the couch. And their behavior told you that they really didn't care about your future plans, that everything they said was a lie. So the actions really are how you get the truth from anybody in general. But for a narcissist, their actions never match their words. If they scream at you because you ask them why money is missing, that rage is trying to misdirect you from finding out the truth about what they were doing. The truth is already revealed. Like I just said, if you ask them something and they rage, they're trying to distract you from getting the truth, but the rage in and of itself revealed the truth. If you pay attention to the rage and try to distinguish their words from their actions, you may hear their exact intentions. Narcissists tend to feel very comfortable sitting in their anger. If anything, it's where they're the most honest about their needs, feelings, and plans. So when a narcissist is angry, that is the only time you're going to get honest answers from them. When they're raging at you, screaming at you, putting you down, calling you all types of names, that's actually who they really are. That's where they are the most comfortable, in their rage and their screaming. They're telling you the truth. Narcissistic projection is also another way that you can get the truth from a narcissist. I had never truly understood what projection was until I was in a relationship with a diagnosed sociopath. Projection happens when the abuser blames you for doing something that they themselves are doing. So if a narcissist starts attacking you and blaming you for something out of nowhere or during your inquiry into the truth, this is their way of revealing the truth about what they're doing behind your back. If they accuse you of something, it's a 100% guarantee that they are for sure doing something awful. Projection happens unconsciously for the narcissist. It's a way for them to reconcile their own feelings or experiences. So a narcissist projects onto other people all the time. If you pay attention and refuse to get emotionally triggered, you can discern their usual manipulation tactics from the genuine truth. So if a narcissist is accusing you of something, that is the truth about what they are really doing. And it's difficult for a narcissist to tell the truth even to themselves. They have constructed and manufactured an entire life that represents their false self. For a narcissist to be completely honest, it means they need to recognize their behavior. And most of the time, they just cannot do that because the false self is the most important thing to the narcissist. But what is the false self? What is the false self? Like, we talk about that a lot. What exactly is it? The false self is a fake persona that the narcissist uses as a psychological defense mechanism to hide their true inner self-loathing and inner shame. During their developmental stages, for various reasons, their true self was subverted, and they developed a false self as a protective fortification. The false self stifled the growth of the true self, and the true self is non-existent and plays no role in the conscious life of the narcissist. The true self, who they really were, is swallowed up by the shame and self-hatred. And they are truly a pathologically jealous person filled with contempt, and that's what they're desperately trying to hide. The narcissist is bankrupt of emotion. They're unable to experience or genuinely express love, trust, and empathy. So the false self is basically the prison where the true self is held hostage. The true self cannot handle the overbearing false self. So the false self takes center stage. It's the actor. It's the mask. The mask that the narcissist wears. Everything about their existence is a lie. So every action that the narcissist is doing is a lie. And if you can understand the workings of all of them, you're never going to get the words out of their mouth in a confession way of where they're actually feeling remorse. They'll admit that they lied about something just flip the script and to then go into victim mode. I mean, they will. Some narcissists will break down once you've confronted them, like I said in the beginning, when you just ask them questions that you know the answer to. You know it's a lie. You just want them to admit it. They might do that, but they're going to leave stuff out, and they're going to use it as a way to be a victim so that they can still feel that their false self is preserved. The false self prevents them from adequately functioning as a whole human. They'll never be able to live in a healthy way. So the false self was something that they constructed to live in the world and hold on to their fake persona. To a narcissist, telling the truth, like actually admitting this stuff, is their own destruction. In their mind, they will psychologically implode and cease to exist. It will be destruction. They will cease to exist. But it's really exhausting to keep up this false self. It's hard work, and it's a lifelong struggle for the narcissist. It's the most important role to elicit narcissistic supply from others. They want admiration, awe, obedience, and continuous attention. And they want supply so they can keep this false self going. They are a lie, but you can get truth out of them if you know what to look for. Because the narcissist desperately needs you to believe in that false self. They will do anything. They act like a large, petulant child, raging, screaming, throwing a temper tantrum when you're asking them for the truth. And it's all of that behavior that is telling you the truth. That you are right, they are a liar, everything about them is a lie, and if their lips are moving, they are lying. So that's how you get the truth from a narcissist. You don't get it in a sincere way. You get it through seeing their actions. So I hope this podcast was helpful to you. I hope that you got value from this podcast. If you need support, want to talk, maybe you're concerned that you're in a relationship with a narcissist, maybe you're not sure, maybe your partner has cheated on you and lies to you and you have caught them lying and you just don't know if this person is a narcissist or if they can change and you would like some support, feel free to email me at unlivingthelie@gmail.com or go to my website, unlivingthelie.com. Check out my website, check out my resources. I have some free things on there. I have free content on Instagram, the podcast. I'm here for you, to hold space for you, to help you, or just to be some support, or just for some validation to know you're not crazy. And if you're listening to this podcast, you know you're not crazy, and you know you're not alone. So, all right, everybody, we will talk again soon, and you know where to find me if you would like to reach out.